Okay. Let's get going here. All right, let's see. Nick, can you offer an opening prayer?
Yeah, sure. Dear Heavenly Father, we are grateful for the many blessings we have in our life, and we're grateful for uh, this wonderful opportunity that we have to get our education. We're so grateful for our family and friends and the love and support they have given us. We're so grateful for thy love in our life, and we actually for thy spirit to be with us and help us and guide us in our daily life and in our studies. Father, we love thee and say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so this one we're doing is a CloudFlare. Is that the
Yep, that's right.
one? I'm trying to remember what that one was about. It was a software company, right?
What company?
It's a internet security company.
Yeah, it makes your website and stuff faster, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. It takes away some of the problems that could possibly happen, like people trying to crack into your system and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, so the first question, it has a kind of a table for us to fill out. It says, with regard to the key elements of the business model, what should CloudFlare keep or start doing with respect to a bunch of acronyms that I don't know? CVP, GTM, TOM, and CFF.
Yeah, I don't know those. What are those actually?
CVP. Basic rating CVP. What is it? Central what? Customer value proposition.
Customer. Okay.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know. Which GTM? Okay.
Oh, it's cost volume profit actually.
Cost volume profit?
Yeah, cost volume profit.
I've never heard that one before like that.
Nope, me neither.
Oh, this was the one where everybody was leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like TOM is target operating model.
Huh.
So I don't. There's nothing about target operating model in the case study.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Okay, and GTM is go-to market strategy. I mean, strategy like huh? What?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, yeah. Let's see, what is CFF?
There's a bunch of ones that don't make sense. Certified in financial forensics? I don't think so.
Let's see.
Hey guys, I'm here.
It's certified in financial forensics. Is that's what he said?
Yeah, I don't think that's what that means.
Well, I mean, these are all supposed to be a business model, I think.
Yeah, there are different types of a business model. So customer value proposition makes a little bit more sense. So Jimmy, we're just looking at there's a little table that we're kind of supposed to fill out as a group.
Uh-huh.
And of course it gives us like 4 acronyms that we don't know what in the world they are.
Uh-huh.
Which is great.
Have you guys looked them up?
We're trying to, yeah.
I guess some of them can mean different things, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So CFF is probably cash flow formula, because looking at question 4. I would imagine that's what it is.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Cash flow formula.
What did you say GTM is?
It's a go-to market strategy. Okay.
Okay, that sounds right. I need to copy these into like an Excel sheet or something. This is annoying me.
So the go-to marketing, I feel like they didn't do a lot with marketing.
Nope.
So I guess that would be part of that is they keep or start doing. They need to start doing. Well, even though they've been successful without it, I feel like they could use some type of just a better marketing strategy. I don't feel like it never hurts.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what they would start doing there. CVP is customer value.
Yeah, customer value proposition.
Okay. And what does that refer to? Let me look that up. So it's basically just describing why your product adds value to a customer.
Uh-huh.
So why are they buying it?
So I think they have that element. They need to keep kind of running with it.
Yeah.
That's really mostly what their business is based off of, is that they have a product that creates value. It protects companies from malicious attacks and things like that. TOM. What was TOM again?
What's the acronym? Let me search it on Google.
TOM.
TOM.
Yeah. It's like target operating model.
Is that the last one? No, is that the
target operating model? Looks like it is correct. So the primary purpose of the target operating model is to enable the application of a corporate strategy or vision to a business or operation. So it's just basically
what's the vision of the company?
And it's kind of just like on like a diagram. This is what I'm seeing a lot of the ones I'm looking at. So what would that be for them? I guess it wouldn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that complicated, but it would just be. How are they reaching their customers?
Well,
yeah, I mean it's who they're targeting and how they're targeting them. Which
they're large enterprises. So they had some main vendors that it looks like that's what they worked with.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because they don't really have a marketing, like a go-to-market strategy, they've just kind of taken whatever customers come to them. And because they don't have a sales team, it's like they're not really targeting anybody. Just anybody that has interest in their product will come. I mean, they're lucky that they've done so well, because it's odd to not have any sales or marketing team.
Right. That's not the usual.
And CFF would be a number of things, but I think it's cash flow formula, maybe. Which they don't really have a super structured cash flow formula either, because I mean they only have one way of monetizing, which they mentioned that they're talking about other ways to monetize, but they haven't really put that down on paper yet. They're just like, oh, we need to find ways to monetize more. So that's something they need to start to do. I mean, looking at how some of this stuff affected the hiring, like just the general lack of organization in the company is pretty concerning.
I agree.
Yeah, they don't have any structure at all, right? They don't have any, like, you know, what do you call those, like supervisor or managers or, you know, anything like that.
Correct. Yeah, it's all based off of this idea of trying to be equal and everything, but there's no structure to it.
Yeah.
So this suggestion to improve that organization, where would that go? Under what category? TOM?
I don't know.
Okay, it might not technically go under any.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I think we have a pretty good handle on that table.
Yeah.
So the next question talks about looking more at the cash flow formula. So suppose we have to hire more engineers in direct proportion to how we scale. How long will it take to become profitable? Use an actual spreadsheet and turn it in after the discussion. So let's go digging for numbers.
So does one of you want to do the Excel sheet, or should we just all do our individual? I mean, it wouldn't hurt to all do it. That way that we have it for the analysis.
Yeah. So if we go to page 6, like the middle of page 6, it has their profit formula.
Yeah.
So 4% of 500,000 customers pay a $20 monthly. So annual revenue rate would be in the range of 4.8 million. Okay, revenue is 4.8 million.
Wait, where's the revenue at?
It talks about that on page 6 where it says profit formula.
Yeah.
And 4 million is like the fourth line down.
4.8 million. Okay, so that's their annual revenue.
Yeah.
So that it costs $3.5 per million page views. assuming 2 billion daily page views. Wow, that's fun.
Wow. So they get $3.50 per million page views. So that means that they would get, so it's 2 billion divided by 1 million.
Yeah.
It's 2,000. So it would be 2,000 times $3.50. 7,000.
3.5. I'm getting that to be 7,000 even.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
That's daily variable costs. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So daily variable cost is $7,000. Yeah, so it's about $2.5 million annually.
Are you doing it times 365?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that too. So that would be the variable cost. Now, it also says most of the remaining costs related to salaries and benefits plus rent overhead costs. So they're saying the rule of thumb in Silicon Valley is they'll pay $150,000 per head. They had about 35 employees. Oh, so they're saying the other expenses would equal
5.25 million.
Yeah.
And it says that they'll be like in loss of 3.5 million.
Yeah, it also says that like the CloudFlare is not really, I don't know, that they're not really paying as much as most of these companies would. I swear I read that somewhere. Well, maybe not. So yeah, let's assume 150,000 per head, 35 employees.
Yep. So I got the same number as it says in the case. So I got negative 3,005,000.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything better than that.
And that's not even including other things. Yeah, that's not very good. So we're supposed to just do that and that's it. Let me see.
And we're supposed to find out if they scale, or how did it manage it? So suppose we have to hire more engineers in direct proportion to how we scale. How long will it take to become profitable?
And where would the scalability, that would be under growth opportunities?
Yeah, so the revenue would have to increase faster than the variable costs
Correct.
Okay,
So
that's a good start.
let's see. So let's 50,000 customers. So let's say they quadruple their number of customers.
Where's their customer? Do they already have 500,000 customers?
Yeah. So 4% of their total customers pay the subscription fee. I need to put these numbers down here.
It's 4% off 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Customers is 4% equals times 500,000. So they have 20,000.
So that's funny. If I just use those numbers, then the revenue is only 4 million, but I guess we'll use their 4.8 million. Oh, because it doesn't factor in that other.
There's another revenue stream.
Yeah, the advertising and stuff like that. Okay, so let's say they double, or let's say they quadruple their customers to 2 million. Same subscribing rate. Why are my numbers off? Oh, $20 monthly. That's why I messed that up. There we go. So if they quadruple their customers, their revenue goes up to about 19 million.
So is the question what would happen if they were able to pull their customers?
I think it's if they increase their scale. So if they quadruple their business, how can they start to break even because they have to like increase their variable costs?
Yeah, correct.
Equal to how much they're increasing their revenue. So let's see what that would be.
What would be the if they quadrupled? What would their revenue be?
19.2 million. So now we have to do annual variable costs. So
So the variable cost, in order to do that, they would have to have 4 times the amount of page views.
Yeah, that's what I put down. So they have to find a way to, like, I don't know how.
That put their variable cost for me at 10 million.
Yeah, I got 10.2 million.
Yep, that's what I have. So that would be the new.
So the only way they could do this is if they somehow start saving on, like, if they increase the efficiency of their employees.
That's all they have. Yeah, you're right. So there has to be an efficiency increase, or else they're just gonna. It's the same problem.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to. I would imagine they won't need 4 times the amount of employees to make that work.
So yeah, that would be where the increase would be. But I don't. How do we even know how many employees that would require?
I have no idea. I'm just. So if all those numbers stand the same, but they only total 59 employees, that's where they become profitable. So they would have to increase their revenue. They would have to increase their business fourfold, but only increase their staff by like 100% almost.
So basically, in order to do it, they would have to have a higher sale rate per employee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just need to have higher sales in general because I don't think they have a lot of sales.
I mean, or if they increase, like, let's say they increase their subscribing rate from 4% to 6%.
Uh-huh.
Like, that would make a pretty big difference.
Like
that's like a $10 million. That's a $10 million difference.
Dang. Just increasing 2%?
Yeah, and just increasing 2%, that bumps up their revenue to $28.8 million. So there you go. That's how you make up the difference.
It's not even that much to ask for that much of an increase.
I mean, if you increase 1%, I mean, that's pretty doable.
Yeah.
So here, I mean, here's kind of, I'm getting close to some sort of numbers here. Oh. So let's say, so at 91 employees, but like you hire that many employees to help you increase your subscribing percentage up to 5%. So if you get subscribing up to 5% and hire 91 employees, or total employees of 91, now you're breaking even.
Uh-huh.
Which they probably wouldn't need that many employees to gain 1%. If I did that right. Yeah.
So they just gotta cut costs and increase their production. It's a combination of both.
Yeah, so let's like assume that they increase. I need to do some more math.
You guys, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Someone's calling me.
Okay.
What question we're looking at right now?
Question 4. So let's assume a 50% growth rate from year to year. It would take them about 4.5 years to get to the like 4 times growth that we were talking about.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I would say
Instead of like just increasing the worker, I mean the employees, what if we increase the monthly subscription fee too?
yeah, if you increase that to like even like $25,
Uh-huh.
and you still save a lot of money.
Because I feel like right now I mean, their what do you call it? Program is like the freemium, right? Is it like it's free, but it's also like you can use it if you pay like advanced things, right?
Yeah.
So I just think like they should like increase the subscription fee from $20 to like I don't know 25 or 30.
Well,
Because
so if they keep the same employees, like keep the same amount of employees, which that's not really reasonable over like a 5-year. I mean, I guess if they keep, hold on, let's see.
So right now they have about 35 employees.
Yeah, 35 employees.
So we're talking about increasing like 100%, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we increase employees to 70,
and also increase the premium to, I mean, the price to, let's say 25.
yeah, then you wouldn't even need to increase the subscribing percentage to make money.
Oh really?
Yeah, you'd be $3 million. You'd make $3 million a year or annually if you increased the fee by $5 and doubled the employees.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I mean, either way, like you said, you have the options. You can increase the subscription fee. You can increase the subscription percentage. You can do whatever you want there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, that's pretty crazy.
Are we on number 5 right now?
Yeah, we can go there. We kind of figured out different ways to make it profitable.
Okay.
I mean, you can increase the subscription percentage, or even if you increase the fee by $5 up to 25, then it has kind of the same effect.
Yeah. And I don't assume that $5 will I don't think people are that price sensitive to $5.
Usually not.
I mean, it might go down a little, but I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So number 5, does CloudFlare have economies of scale, or marginal costs decrease with an increase in customers?
Yeah, that's kind of what we were just talking about. So they want more customers.
But do they have the systems that create like discounts as they get larger? Trying to think about that.
Not really. This just means that the more they have, the more efficient they become. Their costs go down.
Yeah. I mean, it already seems like their employees are pretty overworked. So
yeah.
I would imagine if they don't really have economies of scale, because as they get bigger, like they're going to have more employees because all their employees are already overworked. So either they need to find a way to be more autonomous, or else they can't really live up to the scale they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I've actually been through an experience like that where I did work for a company that that overloaded the work on each one of us. Some guys had left, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I eventually had to quit and move on to another business. So I know for this case, it's not so sustainable to have long 12 to 14 hour long days.
Yeah.
To have meetings on Friday at 5 o'clock. So I've been through that, and there's just no way that people can do that.
Unless they're getting paid a ridiculous amount of money, and they wouldn't want to stay around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's going to be a high turnover for that. So my guess is in a very short term, you might make more money, but it'll backfire, I think.
Yep. Does Cloudflare have network effects, which is the value of the service increases for each customer when there are more customers using it?
This would be like a social media. Like when Instagram first came out, there was no users, so therefore, like, it's not as good. But the more people, the better. When you have a lot of people on it, then it becomes more valuable for everyone. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I think they do, because like it mentioned that if they have all this data coming through, they're able to identify like malicious IP addresses, and they're able to kind of track those, not just for that one website, but for all of them. So the more users you have, the more data and you can collect and protect all your other customers with.
Yeah, I mean that data collection is valuable.
Yep.
Does Cloudflare have switching costs? High switching costs.
I think so. I mean, it seems like they're on the pretty low end of the market. Like somewhere it said that one of the customers was paying like 1.5 million, and Cloudflare was like, we can do it for like 50,000 or something like that. So obviously they have a super like cheap price. I would say they have high switching costs.
Yeah, I agree. What other reasons might Cloudflare management have for wanting to get big fast?
I think that a lot of the reasons are pretty much that you gain a good control of the market share, you get out, sell your product to try to get a lot of revenue in, and I think that's what they're thinking right now. The problem is they're just not taking care of their employees.
I feel like they want to get fast, but they're not doing what they need to in order to grow fast effectively. Like if you want to grow fast, you need to have like some solid systems in place. You need to have organization. You need to have all those things, or else growing fast is just going to blow up in your face.
Yeah.
So that kind of answers the next question, where it's like, look, if your employees can't handle the current state of the nation, then like it's not going to work going forward.
Yeah, and then plus too, you get to the point where you're working harder as a company and putting more resources into something, and you're losing more money than you were in the beginning. You just really don't do anything.
I mean, I think they would probably be better off. Like, obviously, they have a pretty good customer base. They need to find a way to kind of either monetize better or more efficiently, or just make their operations better, make everything more efficient.
I think it also looks like, I mean, they don't really have any marketing effort, not like no sales effort at all. Like they're just like, like, what do you call that? Uh, uh, what's the right
Like
word?
bootstrapping.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, bootstrapping.
There's just no organization there.
Yeah. So the next one says, discuss each of the recent resignations. For each one, list the reasons why they left, then ask what would have to change for that person who stayed.
I don't know. I think like some people who left were like, old people who left. I think they feel like they were not valued. Like once you've been in a company for a long time, you want to feel that you have some kind of and I think because it's lack of that leadership and stuff, they probably left that company.
Yeah.
And there was also no HR presence as well, which I know a lot of companies feel is very important. I think a lot of people felt like they had nowhere to take their concerns, which made it really bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's a number of reasons why, and it all kind of points to like poor organization, like bad job descriptions, bad HR, bad structure. Like all of those things are the main reasons why everybody left.
True.
So is it worth it to make those changes to keep the people who left?
I would say yes.
And it would kind of come down to the people's attitude as well, because the bad attitude has a horrible effect on culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they had bad attitudes, but I mean, if some, I'm sure some of them, they could have been something that they were savable. They weren't necessarily bad employees.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they were difficult employees or that they asked for too much. Like, I mean, in most of their situations, if I were in that position, I'd be like, I'm done with this. This is too much. So then it asks, what will happen to the other employees who work there if your changes are implemented?
I mean, they might backfire on them.
Because I mean, it depends on the person. Like some people really like that freedom and whatever they like. Let's create things and just do and do things. And some people likes to be told what they need to do, like some kind of guidance and direction. And if I don't know, it depends on the person, I guess.
They could even implement some type of bonus program where if they do receive like a certain benchmark, they'll get a bonus.
Yeah.
Just to kind of incentivize people and give them a little bit more motivation, and then it's kind of a win-win. Because I mean, they want to be compensated for their extra work. No one wants to get more work dumped on them and not get a raise or any type of. It gets to be hard for them.
Yeah. I feel like they've created a company. Like the structure of their company is really good for like a 20-person company, but as they're getting bigger than that, they're like, there's going to be a ton of holes in the organization that are going to start showing up, especially if they get up to like 70 or 80 employees. That's going to show a lot of issues in their organization.
So that kind of goes to like the last question is, as a group, what do we think they should do? Should they implement more process and structure / like hiring like a VP or an HR? I mean, and it kind of sounds like we would all.
Yeah. Again, I just think have to have some kind of not going to be able to survive. Things that we mentioned. Basically, I think.
Derek, you're cutting out, buddy.
Oh. Hello.
He's
Yeah,
back.
we can. I can hear you.
Am I back?
Yeah, it does keep cutting out. So we, as a group, the next question would be: should they slow down growth? Yes or no?
Well, I think it depends. Mine, I would implement so that you can continue the growth. Because if you have to do one or the other, so that you can handle what's going on right now, or you have to put in structure to make.
Yeah, and then I'm on the same page as that. So the final question is: discuss what will happen to the company under your recommendations. What would happen to the culture and motivation of current employees? What will happen to the cost structure and therefore profitability of the company? So I think that if they do, they should have a good culture there, and that will improve their production, and it will make it a place that people want to work. That will help with their costing and then make them more profitable. So I mean, it starts internally with having a good culture, and they need to foster that and grow that and have it. And also too, it's like you mentioned before, what worked for a company of 15 or 20 employees won't work for a company of a couple hundred employees. It's different needs.
I feel like they're get their internal structure figured out, and they should be able to handle the future growth.
So that kind of gives us a head start in our analysis. Is that when we're doing the revenue streams and it just would come, we would get that extra boost from the we can say due to corporate culture improvements, the production went up and morale went up, and then they were able to retain their employees, which is all very good for the company.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Well, that's it for that last question.
Sweet.
We got a solid hour in this time. That's good.
Yeah, we did. Cover.
All right, cool. Well, we'll see you guys next week. It's crazy. We only have like 2 more weeks of class left.
All right.
All right. We'll see you on Tuesday.
You're on, right?
Huh?
Derek's gonna be hitched.
I should do Thursday. Tuesday. I should be able to be there.
All right.
If anything,
I will definitely try to.
Either way, just let us know where we'll adjust if we need to.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.